Welcome everybody, welcome back to Homestead Heart. And y'all, I am in my kitchen today and I am actually preparing some fruit here for the freeze dryer. All right, I have a couple of trays already of bananas, and this is the last of my bananas and strawberries, and now I'm going to move on to the last of my strawberries, which is only a few. And then I'm going to move on to the grapes, okay? And I'm literally just slicing my strawberries to a certain thickness. Really, I just kind of eyeball it, to tell you the truth. When I'm freeze drying my strawberry, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. But I'm going to do the last of the strawberries that I have. I had some fresh strawberries, some organic strawberries, and grapes, and bananas. And what I do is that I will freeze dry. Like if I buy them and I can get some on sale, then what I'll do is I will freeze dry the rest, right? And my grapes, I literally just cut them in half. That's it. I could freeze dry a whole grape, but I just prefer to cut the grapes in half. And that way, come on, that way I can have them to freeze and dry a lot faster, okay? And I'm being careful, I'm not going to cut my hand. With the way I'm doing this knife, I'm not going to cut my hand. I got my little thumb out of the way. And I have my bucket. Y'all look at my bucket. I have 3 of these, and I have one outside in the barn, one in the greenhouse. I use them for different things. And this is the one I have in the house. But I'm showing you this because this is actually how I buy my Parmesan cheese, in this bucket right here. And I'm using this bucket right now because I will take my fruit, even if it's organic. I don't care that it's organic. Even if it's organic, I will take my fruit and put it in this bucket. And I will add a couple of quarts of water and about a tablespoon or so of baking soda for the fruit. And I will let it soak in this water for about 15 minutes. And then I will wash it and rinse it a couple of times. And I do that just to be on the safe side, right? Now I know that, that's what people will do if they are, buying fruit that is not organic. They will, clean it that way, but I do all of my fruit that way, you all. So no matter what, if you're buying fruit, whether it's organic or not, make sure that you are washing, not only rinsing, running some water over it, but make sure that you are putting water in your container, depending on how much fruit you got. I just do a couple of quarts no matter what. And then I will put a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of baking soda. Now, if your fruit is not organic, you can even add a splash of apple cider vinegar and cover it. You're going to swish it around a bit, but cover it, and then, or you don't have to cover it, but then just let it sit for 15 minutes. And of course, you're going to give it a little swish around, but let it sit for 15 minutes. And then you come back to it and you pour that water off. And when you pour that water off, rinse them well. I don't care if you have to rinse them 2 or 3 times. Rinse them well. Okay, you all? And that is the way that I clean my fruit before I serve it. No matter what, blueberries, it doesn't matter, blackberries, all of that. That's what I do to my fruit. Okay, you all? Ooh, that's really soft. That's what I do with my fruit. Now, let me see. My knife is not sharp. I need my sharp knife. But that's how I soak the fruit. Now, my little container here with my Parmesan cheese, y'all, I buy my Parmesan cheese in bulk like this simply because I use a lot of Parmesan cheese. That's one of my favorite cheeses to buy. is the Parmesan cheese. And of course, y'all know where I get it from. I get it from Azure Standard, and I buy it in this bucket right here. And this bucket, it will last me, let me see, maybe a good month and a half or so, depending on how much I use it. Because I use my Parmesan cheese when I'm making, like, if I do a creamy spinach as a side dish when I'm cooking dinner, I make my sauce using the Parmesan cheese. If I'm doing a Tuscany style salmon or a Mediterranean salmon, I use my Parmesan. If I make an Alfredo sauce, then I'll use my Parmesan cheese to make my Alfredo sauce. Now, I remember somebody saying, when I said that I love going to Olive Garden, I remember somebody saying in the comment section that, if you something, how they put it, I forgot how they put it, and I didn't respond to it. But however they put it, they were basically saying that you can make Alfredo sauce at home. You don't have to go to Olive Garden. Well, see, my problem is that when it comes to fettuccine Alfredo, Mr. H will tell you that is, I get addicted to that, right? So I don't cook it at home. If I cook it at home, if I cook it today at home, because I'm going to be honest with you, my Alfredo sauce at home tastes way better than Olive Garden. My fettuccine Alfredo at home tastes way better than what I buy from Olive Garden. Not that Olive Garden is not good, but y'all, I'm telling you, my Alfredo sauce, I put my foot in. Ooh, my grandson hate that. I put my foot in it and whirl it around, like my sister say. So I do not really make Alfredo at home for fettuccine, because fettuccine Alfredo is certainly a weak spot for me. So I don't hardly make it. I don't make it at all at home. If I want it, I will get it from the Olive Garden, and I'll eat it then. And that way I know I'm only going to eat it like once every 3 months or something. But if I cook it at home, oh no, I know I'm going to be cooking that a lot. So I don't even cook fettuccine at home at all anymore because of me. But any fettuccine I make tastes way better than any place I buy it from. I guarantee it, right? All right, so now, but hence the reason why I have this big old bucket and why I use so much Parmesan cheese, y'all. And so it's time for me to get an order in for Azure to get me another container. And I'm beginning to, I don't typically freeze Parmesan cheese, but I think if I get two, I don't know, maybe I will try a little bit to see how it tastes if I freeze it and then unthaw it and cook with it. I don't know if I'll like it, which is only why I buy one container at a time, and I keep it refrigerated. And that, and it has lasted, right, for about a month and a half in my refrigerator. No, it hasn't molded, it doesn't go bad. And I mean, if you saw, let me see here. It has basically, y'all saw the ingredients in here if I showed it to you. Simple ingredients: Parmesan, milk, cheese custard, culture, salt, enzymes, dairy solid, anti-caking dairy solids, sugarcane fiber, and a mold inhibitor, and a little bit of salt. So it hasn't molded or anything like that in a month or so in my refrigerator. And I keep it in my refrigerator, in the back of my refrigerator where it's the coldest. And so when I'm making my sauces, I'll probably use like a cup of this at a time. Anytime I'm making an Alfredo sauce, a dill sauce, a sauce for my creamy spinach, I'm going to use about a cup of it. So I'm going to be grabbing me another bucket of this from Azure Standard, and if you would like a bucket of it, I will put the link in the description box below so that you can get yours as well. And you don't have to buy a bucket. You can buy you can buy a smaller amount than I do. But y'all, Parmesan cheese is one of my favorite cheeses. So I buy a lot of it because I use it all the time. So y'all, I have my grapes on the tray getting ready to go in the freeze dryer. When I do tomorrow's video, I will show you all how they turned out, all right? And now also, yes, we are affiliated with Harvest Right, and some of you have used our link to get your own Harvest Right freeze dryer, and y'all, we really appreciate that so very much. Okay, so in tomorrow's video, I'm going to show the update as to how this looked, but let me show you this. Woo. And I just kind of had these chilling out in the freezer until I got finished with my other tray. So these are my bananas that I have been doing in the freeze dryer as well. And this right here is my lemon juice mix with a little bit of water. And anytime I cut my bananas up, I drop them in that lemon juice to help them to not kind of turn on me, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and get all of my trays now in the freeze dryer. Ooh, I almost dropped it. So I'm gonna get these trays in the freeze dryer, you all. But I just wanted to come on real quick and show you all, make sure how I wash my fruit before I eat it, before I freeze dry it, even before you dehydrate it. Make sure that you wash your fruit, organic or not, with a little bit of water, baking soda, and again, if it's not an organic fruit, use an apple cider vinegar, okay? Just a splash, like a teaspoon or so, okay, you all? So that's gonna do it for this video, you all. I have another video coming up. It's gonna be a little different also for today, so y'all stay tuned for that video as well. Thank you all again for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.